Hi, everybody, and we're back with another episode of Pathway to Glory here at Main Street Boxing, with the owner being Bobby Benton. Make sure you guys check him out. He is the creator and owner of everything that we do here in downtown Houston. And my name is Kiera Baker, and I'm here with
Ginny Fuchs.
Yes, Ginny Fuchs, and I'm so excited to be interviewing her today. We're going to get into a lot of things in your career, what you've done over the years, and currently what you're still doing. So I just want to hop right into it. So you're from Houston, Texas.
Yes.
So born and raised.
Born
correct?
and raised.
So how was it growing up in Houston?
I had a great childhood. Grew up an athlete. My parents threw me into all team sports. My parents are big water people, so I learned how to swim, water ski when I was 4 years old. Mm-hmm. So I was a very active child, lived outside a lot. I know nowadays it's not like that with children, but that's how I remember my growing up. I had friends all around in my neighborhood, so just playing outside.
That's good. And I want to touch on your college dates a little bit. So you went to LSU.
Go Tigers!
Which was very exciting for me when I was just doing my research and found out that you went there, because that was one of my childhood dream schools, right? So when you look at LSU, you just think of sports, right? It's a big sports school, everything sports, football. So what led you to making that decision and going to LSU? Because I know you majored in kinesiology. Correct?
Yes.
So what was the thought process?
In high school, I discovered my distance running talent. So I was a big runner. In high school, I keep breaking the school record, and I keep breaking it all throughout high school. So the athletic director of my high school was like, you could, if you take this serious, you could run at the collegiate level. So that was my goal. Mm-hmm. And LSU was very interested in me. I was a walk-on, but they were, out of all the schools, they really wanted me. Mm-hmm. So when I went to go visit, and then when I went to go visit the campus, I was like, oh, I'm coming here. I love this place. So I went there as a walk-on the cross country and track team.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And how was your experience doing track there?
Oh, good. So it was short-lived. So this is how I started boxing. Mm-hmm. At first this happened freshman year. I did a prank to my friend. No big deal. It's just breaking down his door and taking his Xbox and hiding it to make it look like someone came and stole it. But he ended up, when we played it off, he ended up calling the police. Mm-hmm. LSU police, campus police.
Yeah.
But we didn't know it. And so when they showed up, I was like, oh no, Joey, I did it. Here's your Xbox. It was just a joke. Mm-hmm. But and I explained to the campus police about what happened, but apparently because I broke his door, or broke a piece of his door, it was destruction of school property, so I got in major trouble for that, which got me kicked off the team.
Oh my goodness. And this was your freshman year?
Freshman year, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I enjoyed the college life for a good year. And then my sophomore year, I met a professional boxer. And so that's how I got introduced into boxing and got started into boxing.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So when you got introduced to boxing, did you love it right away?
Yeah. So,
or did it took some time for you to follow?
No. So, like I was telling you, I've done all sports. Mm-hmm. I was club soccer, club basketball, softball, volleyball, track, water skiing. I've done all athletics, all sports. Boxing was the one thing I had never been in a boxing gym. Mm-hmm. I mean, I fought my older sister, but never been in like a fight. Yeah. So that's what intrigued me about, this is one sport I haven't done. I want to start boxing. Mm-hmm. And I immediately fell in love with it right away. The coach at the gym where I started, first day, he said, I see a lot of potential in you. Do you want to start fighting? I'll train you. And we can, work our way up. And I was like, let's do it. From that day, I dedicated all my energy and time into boxing.
Yeah, now look where it's got you, just by expressing interest in it.
Exactly.
So how was that transition? From running, doing cross country, you said you did multiple sports, so I assume you were very athletic, right?
Yeah.
But how was that transition from going to running to learning a new sport?
So the athletic part of boxing, I like the technique, and I picked up very, very fast. Now, with boxing, it's the more that fast spurts, combination, quickness. Mm-hmm. And as a distance runner, I had trained myself for years and years developing my slow twitch muscles. So I had to change my training to more like short interval kind of things, explosive kind of exercises
Yeah.
to build more of my fast twitch muscles. So that was the only change or the difference, major difference that I experienced with going into boxing. But I mean, I picked it up. The whole sport itself picked it up pretty fast.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's actually great because not for everyone it's easy to just pick up a sport right off the bat. So did you have any doubt or uncertainty going into it, especially because it was new? It was something that you had never learned, or were you just super curious and you were very optimistic about boxing?
Yeah, I never ever had a doubt. I was like, I'm gonna do this. In my mind, there's no one in this world, no girl in this world that can beat me.
Yeah.
Like I got this. They didn't have female boxing in the Olympics at the time. So at the time when I started boxing, I was like, I'm gonna be a world champ. I'm gonna be the greatest. And then in 2010, I went to my first national tournament, which was the Women's Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
And that's where they announced that they were adding female boxing to the Olympics. So the 2012 London Games was where they first featured female boxing.
So we talked about your early beginnings. So now I want to talk about just your career.
Okay.
Your amateur career and what you're doing now. So you represented Team USA.
Yes, not in London, by the way, in Tokyo.
Oh,
in Tokyo, yeah.
So how was that experience going to Tokyo was it your first time going to Tokyo?
Going to Tokyo? Well, the year before they do Olympic test events. The year before the Olympics, so I went to Tokyo to compete in the Olympic test event. So I got to go out and see Tokyo.
Oh wow!
Because obviously, then the pandemic hit. So we weren't able to leave the village unless you were going to, your practice or to your competition. Because
so
of
COVID.
It
was a different experience.
Yeah. So I went to Rio with the team. I didn't compete in Rio, so I got to see how Rio Olympics is without COVID. So yeah, it was a little weird. I mean, the village they didn't really want people socializing. They either wanted you in your room, practice gym, or at the arena for competition.
Yeah. So it wasn't really much of socialization where you got to get to meet people and actually for people to get to know you.
Yeah, I mean, at least for the first fight, the arena was completely empty. I've never in any tournament. I've never competed in an empty arena or empty room. So that was
crazy.
weird.
Was that a mental challenge for you?
Well, I didn't even realize it. I remember I was fighting and I was like, why can I hear my coach so clearly? I never, the instructions so clearly. And then when I won my first fight, so when they raised my hand, I was like, oh, there's nobody here. That's why I can hear him.
Yeah. So when you actually went to the Olympics for the next year, how was that experience? Tell me a little bit about your day-to-day process.
Well, it got postponed a year, so the pandemic was still going on when it happened. So, I would wake up and we would either, I would go eat and then we would go train unless, this is at the beginning of the Olympics, so no one had competed yet. So if no one was competing, we would go train in the morning and then go eat and then just be in our room until we had to go train again or till the next day till we competed.
Oh my!
That's pretty much it. Yeah, it felt like, and yeah, it just felt like you had to be.
You were isolated.
I want to say isolated. Yes, that's the word I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And did that take a toll on your mental? Because I know you're really big on mental health as well.
Yeah.
So how was your mental during that time? You go into the Olympics expecting it to be grand. Seeing so many people, the fans, the athletes, everywhere you go. But then you go into this new environment where COVID is around. Yeah. You're isolated. You can only eat by yourself, go to practice by yourself. So how was that mentally for you?
When being actually at the Olympics, that part was just frustrating. Frustrating to me because I wanted my family to be there and friends to be there and see me. But leading up, we had multiple camps, and those camps were the same way where you had to be in your room unless you were going to eat or going to training. So I kind of got used to that before the Olympics, I guess, which kind of helped me mentally because it was like preparing to be in isolation and compete.
It depends on how you look at it, because you could take it, and look at it on the bright side, or take it and look at it negatively. So you spunt it around. So that's good.
And that's the type of person I am. You have those negative thoughts, but I always try to look at things positively, even though there's always negativity in something, but I'm a very positive person, so I try to be like, all right, what can I take positive from this?
Yeah, that's good. And you've had multiple championships in your career. Just to name a few, there's a lot, but I'm just going to name a few. In 2015, like you mentioned, you won the Golden Gloves Championship. In 2018, you were a world champion.
I got bronze.
Yes,
at the Worlds.
bronze. Yes. In 2019, you won the Pan Am Championship, right? And you got silver for it. Yeah, so those are just a couple to name a few. But out of all of those, what was your most favorite or most memorable championship?
In the amateurs? Specifically just the amateurs?
Any, just in general, in total.
Well, I think...
Well, you can do amateur and then you can do professional.
Okay, I was going to say.
That? Yeah.
In the amateurs was... because I won the Olympic trials for the 2016 Olympics.
Yes.
I think that was my most memorable and exciting and worthy fight because I was number 2 in the nation at the time, and I'd fought the number 1 girl the 4 years leading up to the trials.
Wow.
And every fight was very close, but I'd always lose like by split decision, very controversial decisions. And so when the trials came, that was the time that mattered to win and beat her.
Yes.
And I made it happen. When a lot of people thought like, she can, but she's never done it before, so they weren't sure if I was going to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
In the professionals, this was actually my last fight, and it's been a year since this fight, but I won the WC interim super flyweight belt, and I was the challenger, so I went to LA to fight the champion in her hometown, and I won that. That was a close fight. Won on a split decision, but I also won it with a dislocated thumb so bad that the bone popped out, and I don't know how long. I mean, I remember in the first round the punch that created the jam. I didn't know if the initial bone popping out happened at that punch or throughout the rest of the fight. But yeah, I didn't know.
How do you lock back in after something like that during a fight? Like, is it just mental for you? Like, if something happens or you injure yourself, you just push through? Like, was it something that you can continue to fight?
Well, you know how they say ignorance is bliss?
Yes.
So, and this happens with fighters. You jam your thumbs and fingers from punching.
Yeah.
So when I threw the punch, I was like, ooh, that was a bad jam. That hurt. So I just thought it was just like a regular jammed finger. I didn't know that I had dislocated and the bone popped out.
Yeah.
I didn't know until my coach took my glove off after the fight, and I was like, ooh, is that my thumb?
Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your adrenaline was probably pumping, so you weren't worried about a jam thumb in the moment.
Exactly.
Right?
No. Like I was worried about the decision.
Yeah.
I forgot about it until I went and saw the doctor, and they're like, yeah, we need to go to the hospital for that.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so that was your most memorable. And how was it going to California? I'm pretty sure her support was very large.
Yeah.
She was in her hometown. She was in her home, city where she grew up. So was the crowd rowdy? Like, were they all against you? Like, can you remember back to when you fought? Like, how was the crowd?
Well, I like, being the underdog kind of drives me. I kind of like it. I like being the challenger. So... yeah, motivates me. It's a different kind of drive, right? But yeah, the crowd was all for her, which they should be. So, but again, keep calling her name because that gets me going.
Yeah, that
I want to prove. I want to prove to them that she might be the champ now, but she's not. She's not about to be.
Yeah. And what was the main challenge, if you had to say, going from amateur to pro? Because I'm pretty sure it's very different, the competition, the level of play, the people that you're going against. So what was the main difficulty that you had to face?
I'd say the main difficulty is getting a fight. In the amateurs, you go to a tournament and whoever shows up at the tournament, then they do the brackets and the drawing, so you're going to get a fight unless nobody shows up in your weight class. But at national tournaments, there's always going to be somebody in your weight class. The trouble I'm having as a professional is getting a fight. I can't find people to fight me or promote, I got to have a promoter to put me on a big stage to pay these opponents to fight me. That's like the only way I can get a fight.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, but it's okay because you just got to stay persistent, right?
Yeah.
This is the career that you chose. So just knowing that you're good enough and knowing that every fight that you do choose, you just give it your all so that you can make your name bigger. Than what it already is. But that's a good tip. So for any future fighters out there, just know that it's not a cakewalk.
Yeah. You got to, you almost have to market yourself. You can't rely on the promoter, anybody. You got to sell yourself. As a professional, you got to sell yourself to get the fights.
Yeah.
It's a big thing I learned.
Yeah, and that goes into like the importance of having a team, correct? Yeah. Like knowing who's around you and knowing who you can trust so that you can have a team that will be able to market you as well.
Right, yeah. The team is you got to have a team you can trust and that knows you,
yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to talk about your playing style a little bit. So how would you describe your personal style in the ring?
I definitely like to box more. I like to move,
Mm-hmm.
move and box.
Okay.
But I can, if I need to, I can be aggressive and switch to being aggressive and then go back to boxing.
Okay.
So in the amateurs, I was more of a boxer, right? Because it's more of the point system, faster pace, only 3 rounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when the pros started, I focused more on being a little more grounded and sitting down on my shots more and being a little more aggressive. So that's the kind of thing I've switched going into pros. I still box. That's my main style. I like to box and move. But I have been a little more aggressive and sitting down on my shots since I've turned pro.
Okay. And so what workouts helped you get to that next level that you were talking about? Not boxing, but just being more precise in the ring.
Really just adding on to what I've already learned over the years. You know, my coach, we perfect something, then we'll move on and focus on that. And then, of course, your strength and conditioning is key. You can never forget about that.
Yeah.
And all the explosiveness that you do there helps and transitions into the ring.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you have no problem with strength and conditioning because you started in cross country, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. So you also have been very vocal about your OCD, correct? So when did you find out, or when were you diagnosed with OCD?
So in middle school, and this is kind of ironic since I'm in a weight cutting sport, but I suffered from anorexia in middle school. In 8th grade, it got pretty severe to where my parents sent me off to an inpatient treatment center in Arizona. And it was actually at that treatment center where they discovered that the underlying cause was my excessive compulsive disorder. And that's kind of what drove the anorexic behaviors.
Okay.
So that's when I was officially clinically diagnosed in 8th grade. And then I actually went into another treatment center for my OCD same year. So my 8th grade year was pretty crazy. And then after that, all throughout high school, I was on medication and I went and saw a therapist. I was able to manage it very well in high school. When I got to college, because I didn't really believe in medicine, not saying that it's not good. It helps with, each to each his own. Exactly. Yeah. And then, so I got off the medication, and I wasn't really seeing a therapist. I was seeing a therapist when I came home, but not really in Baton Rouge. But still, and then I found boxing, right? So I think boxing kind of helped.
Was your therapy?
It was kind of my therapy. Gave me a purpose, gave me a value. Values are what are stronger than your OCD thoughts and compulsions. It's the values in life that you have to remember. So that's what boxing helped me with. Yeah. So I've dealt with it all my life. Kind of came back, hit me hard into 2018 and 2019.
Wow.
Where I myself was like, I need to go back into inpatient. I need some help, especially a year before the Olympics, because I don't want this to get in the way of my boxing.
Yeah.
And so I made the decision 2019 to go back into inpatient. And again, I'm still dealing with it today. And this is a true fact. People say, there's not enough support for the payment to help you with therapy and all that. Yeah. So that's what I'm struggling with right now. So I haven't really been consistent with therapy, but I'm trying to get back into it. And then again, all the things I've learned inpatient all over the years of doing therapy, I use those tools today.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how important was therapy to you? Like going through, when you initially when you found out and then actually working through it with a therapist, how was it? How helpful was it for you?
Well, initially I was very, I was in the teens, going into high school. I didn't want to, I was very resistant to it. At first I was like, there's nothing wrong with me,
Yeah.
And again, I also felt a little bit ashamed and embarrassment about it too, because I didn't really understand what was going on with me or understand OCD
when
in
you're
general,
so young.
right? So when I grew up, then and I understood more about what OCD is and it's a broad diagnosis. Like there's so many forms it can manifest in so many different ways. And then when I get to understand it more and then understood how I'm dealing with it and then what's causing me to obsess and then do the compulsions, that made it easier for me to accept I'm struggling with this thing, but it doesn't define me, and it's okay to have it. So as I got older, it was easier to deal with it in the sense of not thinking I'm like a bad person or different.
Yeah, you're not. And I love that you embrace it, right? You show the world, that you have this, diagnosis, and that it doesn't stop you from being who you are. You still play the game that you love. You play the sport that you love, and you're real. It shows that we're human, right?
Yes.
We all have things about us that aren't going to be perfect. So I love that about you.
Exactly. Thank you.
So now we're going to get into a little bit of rapid fire. This is something that I do with every interviewee, with every boxer that I talk to, and it's called Hit Me With It, right? So it's a short segment, and it's fun, right? So I'm gonna put a 30-second timer, and I'm gonna ask you rapid fire questions, and you give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Favorite punch that you've thrown?
Jab.
Ooh. Dream opponent?
Flondora.
Hardest fight?
My last fight for the WBC interim super flyweight title.
Your favorite fighter, past or present?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Pre-game meal?
Pancakes.
Ooh, with syrup on it?
Syrup and honey.
Ooh, okay. Favorite memory throughout your whole entire career?
Water ski camp.
Ooh, trash talking or letting your game speak for itself?
More of a letting my game speak for itself.
Okay, and that was the time. Okay. And another one that I missed was favorite pregame song.
Ooh,
what do you listen to get you pumped up?
I want to say song. I'll just say genre reggae music.
Reggae. Okay, yep. That's different. That's different. And okay, so I want to show you a video on your Instagram. And I want you to explain to me what was happening in that moment. Okay?
Okay, so I'm training here and just thinking about when my next fight is, and this is someone helping, again, promote me.
Okay.
Trying to promote myself and market myself.
Yeah, that's good. And what gym were you at?
That's where I train. I train at Jay Prince's boxing gym.
Okay, Jay Prince's. All right. And lastly, I want to talk about your legacy / impact. So for the girls growing up that want to be in your position and that want to be a professional boxer, what would you tell them?
So don't let anything stop you. Just believe in yourself. Especially in my field and when going to a male dominant sport, and it's just this difficult business in general, but I've never given up, never stopped believing in myself, and I've always just pushed through regardless of what's in the way and all the obstacles. I'll go up and then and then it doesn't happen the way I want, and then I'll go up and it doesn't happen the way I want. So it's a lot of bumps in the road, but I've never let anything stop me.
I love that. And you've had a unique path, right? From having a late start to going to school in LSU to pursuing kinesiology to then going to boxing, right? To now being an Olympian, a champion. So when you talk about your legacy, when you think about your legacy, what do you want to leave for the next generation? What do you want people to remember about you?
That, again, that I just kept on going and doing, and I went towards my goal no matter what. And even if I didn't accomplish it in the way I wanted it to happen, I still accomplished it.
I love that. Right. I love that. And always having that mindset, you'll go far. And no matter what you do.
Yeah, nothing's going to stop me. I don't care.
So any shout outs, any upcoming fights that you have, anything that you want to say to the people before we go? You have the floor.
I wish I could say upcoming fight, but I am expected next year to have, and I want to have 2 world title belts next year. That is my plan. So keep a watch on me. Next year is going to be the year for me. Things are going to start changing. Things are going to start going up.
Yes, yes. And make sure you remember the name Ginny
Fuchs.
Fuchs. Yes. You guys heard it here. My name is Kiera Baker, and we are here at Main Street Boxing with another episode of Pathway to Glory. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you follow us on all our social medias, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and make sure you stay tuned for episodes monthly. Bye.
Thank you.